The configuration for the Model S is constantly changing. You used to be able to get a 40 kilowatt hour battery, a 60 kilowatt hour battery. You used to be able to get an 85 kilowatt battery until very recently. You used to be able to get something called a tech package. Now there's dual motor, now there's the 90, now there's the 70. There's all kinds of stuff. So I want to go over the current Tesla options, the packages, and sort of go through which ones that I find useful and ones that, you know, if you're trying to minimize the number of options that you need to finance on your Tesla, which ones are just kind of probably not worth the money. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's the configuration webpage for the Model S. And the first decision that you have to make, or really the biggest one, is what the overall configuration is. In other words, rear wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and then 70, 90, or P90D. So let's cover the dual motor or non-dual motor first. So there's two reasons, well, I guess there's a couple reasons to get all-wheel drive. You get slightly higher range, and this is only an issue with the 70D. So the 90, if you get a 90 kilowatt hour battery, you're going to get dual motor. So the question is, if you're getting a 70D, do you get dual motor or not? So with the dual motor, you get slightly higher rated range. You can see here it's 240 with the dual motor, and then 230 rated with the rear wheel drive. So that's one thing. The second thing is you get a little bit better handling because it is all-wheel drive, and it's an extremely precise, electronically controlled rather than mechanically controlled all-wheel drive. And you also get more power. So, I mean, if you're really buying a Model S for the power, you know, P90D is the answer. But so it's a lot of preference as to whether you get dual motor or not in the 70D. I got the dual motor because I live in a very snowy and very icy area of the country in the winter. So if I did not live up here in Michigan, like for example I was still in California or something, dual motor all-wheel drive would not have been a necessary feature for me. I would have been happy with just a rear-wheel drive and saving the $5,000. The other advantage is that you get a lot more space here in the front. The front motor takes, I don't know, at least a third, maybe even half of the cargo volume in the front. I don't know the exact measurements of it, but it is significant. With the empty frunk, full frunk, I guess. I mean, you can fit like a tire back there. You definitely can't do that with the all-wheel drive. So I would say if you're in Canada or one of the northern states that gets icy and snowy, I think it's worth it. But if you're comfortable driving rear-wheel drive with snow tires, which is quite effective as well, you can save $5,000. So yeah, there's that. Oh, the other thing is, if money is super tight but you still want to buy a Model S, obviously you're saving $5,000 if you don't get dual motor. So that makes it an easy decision. If you have money to burn, boom, P90D is your answer. 90D I feel like is the sweet spot, and that's probably why Tesla still has this entry, even as opposed to the 85, which they recently discontinued. So the 90D gives you good performance, not crazy performance like P90D, but it's good performance. And if you're going to be using superchargers a lot with long distance travel, especially if you're going to be using more than 3 superchargers in a day, the 90D's capacity and faster charging time is going to be noticeable. We took our 70D across the United States, and I did 2 videos on that, so check those out. But because it was in the winter and it was a 70D, charging time was higher than it would have been with a 90. So, but the thing is, between let me put this on my configuration. So between what I have, the 70D starting price is 75,000, and then the 90D is all the way up to 88,000. So you're going to be paying $13,000 more than a 70D just to get those extra 20 kilowatt hours. So it's definitely, you know, it's not cheap. So, you know, the main reasons to do that are you really want the extra range, the extra power, or the charging speed. So, and again, if money is the concern, boom, 70. All right, so, oops, let's put this on my configuration, and now let's go up to paint. When I was looking for my Tesla, the 2 colors that I did not want were brown and green. Those are the colors that I didn't want for sure, and that wasn't a big deal because they're not even made anymore. So you have 2 paint colors that do not cost anything extra. I'm going to stay on the 70D. Pure white, or solid white, which is what my car is, and solid black. Once you get into these colors, from titanium metallic all the way to silver metallic, those are an additional $1,000. And then the pearl and the red multi-coat are $1,500 extra. Colors, you just have to figure out which one you want. I mean, everybody's different, so we'll keep this like mine. So it's let's keep it blue. Blue's cool. Wheels and roof. Okay, let's do the roof first. Mine has a solid top. I'm going to be talking about mine a lot, so I better keep it as white. Okay, mine has a solid top, and that was intentional. After watching Bjorn Nieland's experience in Norway with the panoramic roof, first of all, I love like sunroofs. I would have loved to have one, but I wasn't willing to pay extra for one, or at least not a whole lot extra. And since I live in a cold climate, I wanted the extra insulation of the roof. And also, glass is a rigid substance, so sound and noise and talking or video recording, it's a little bit more of an active, or as they say, like a hot acoustic area when you have this additional hard surface. Whereas the underside of the roof, some people call the ceiling, is soft, and so that also dampens sound, makes it I wouldn't say necessarily a quieter interior, but it makes sound less harsh. Mostly you notice that if you do any kind of recording, like video recording in the car, which I knew I was going to do. But anyway, the main reason actually that I didn't get the panoramic roof, well, 2 reasons. 1, it costs more, and 2, the glass does not insulate from heat or cold as well as the solid roof does. And I knew I was going to be in some pretty cold temperatures, and I wanted to do everything I could to maximize insulation. Wheels, mine are the 19-inch. Let's see, mine are the 19-inch normal ones. These are cool. My thought is I don't think they're worth paying for. If you're in a snowy, icy conditions, even with all-wheel drive, I do recommend snow tires. It makes the driving experience much better in terms of grip, and you have to realize that those specialty tires like that are going to be even more expensive if you have specialty rims. So I went for just the generic ones, and I'm completely happy with those. Also, I'm a good driver, but I have scuffed up wheels before on previous cars, and so I'd be a lot more nervous with that if I had super expensive ones. Okay, interior. If you're completely cheaping out and saving every every kind of penny you can. Your one option is the multi-pattern black seats, which are cloth based, and they are the original Model S seats, as opposed to these, which are second generation. I had never sat in a second generation before I bought my car. When I picked up my car at delivery, that was the first time I had experienced these, so I didn't know what to expect. I'm 6 feet and about 180 pounds currently, so I guess I'm on the thin side. And I find these super comfortable. If I was 230 pounds or something like that, I think the sides here might start encroaching. And it would feel a little bit tight. But otherwise, I really like them. I wasn't sure if this was gonna like push my elbow too far forward, but it doesn't at all. It's actually, for me, it's like perfectly spaced. I can still use the elbow rest without feeling like there's this giant mass underneath my arm. And if you watch Bjorn Nealon's videos, you'll know that his wifey Emery, she likes to recline the front seat and then sleep. These do push your arms up a bit more than the original seats do. So I don't know if that's how important that is to anybody, but if that is important, that's something to consider. The leather that I wanted was this, the gray ones, but I got a service loaner / demo vehicle, and so mine just happened to have the black leather, and it's fine. I'm happy with that. I also have piano black decor, which I'm completely happy with. I don't really think it's worth upgrading these, at least for my money. I have the white Alcantara headliner, which I think kind of opens up the space and makes it less imposing than the black does, but that's purely preference. Some people really like to black out everything in the vehicle. Alright, so that's decor. Okay, standard equipment. Notice here that Tesla specifies that the free supercharger use is free long distance travel, not necessarily local travel. I suspect that currently it's not regulated at all. Like, anybody can use the superchargers at any time. I suspect though, if they become too crowded, they might start only letting people use them like out of their like not using their local one, or at least limiting that. So it'll always be free, but they never said it would be unlimited, as far as I know. Okay, yeah, let's see. Okay, options. Autopilot convenient features. This was a must for me, and this is partly because it's a way to nerd out. I did not want to buy a Model S or a Tesla at all until Autopilot had come out. It came out a lot faster than I thought, and so you don't have to get this initially. So the car will have the hardware, and then you can just have the software upgraded later. But as you can see, if you get it up front, the software is $2,500. If you have it enabled afterwards, it's $3,000. So if you really don't have the cash now, and you will later, I mean, you can save $2,500 up front, and then basically pay a $500 fee plus the $2,500 later. But I love using Autopilot and stuff like that. So that was my second must. First one was all-wheel drive. Second one was Autopilot, at least Autopilot capable. Premium interior and lighting. My vehicle has this because it was a demo vehicle. If I was just building mine, would I get this? The answer is no. It is $3,000, and the biggest convenience of this package is the power liftgate. And what that means is that, well, it's powered. So you push a button or you use the remote and it will close or open the back hatch. Now, it was important to me that I be able to open the back trunk with the remote in some way, because when I had the Volt, you actually couldn't do that. You had to do it. You had to actually push the button in the back. You couldn't do it from the remote. But even if you do not have the premium interior lighting and you do not have the power liftgate, you can still you can unlatch the trunk with your remote. So, and that's a huge convenience. You know, whether or not it opens all the way automatically, like, it's convenient, and it is definitely convenient to be able to close it by just pushing a button, but certainly not a necessity. And then everything else, the Napa leather armrests and the dashboard, more premium materials here and there, interior accent lighting. It is cool. So basically what you have, if you can see this, this highlight here, those are LED lights. And then you can see right here, actually I think this, yeah, okay. So you get lights underneath here. You get footwell lights there, and also here. And also you get what are puddle lights. So underneath the door here, there's a strip of LED so that when you open the door, they shine down and, you know, they show you whether you're going to step into a puddle or not. So convenient and kind of cool, and it looks nice, but certainly not necessary. Fog and cornering lights. Those, well, fog lights, they're low. And then cornering lights are, those are lights that are sort of offside. They're sort of more on the corner of the vehicle. Like, here's a little diagram. And they're like right here and over here. And if you turn a sharp right, this one will shine more directionally this way. And if you turn a sharp left, the one over here will shine that way. So that's what's going on with those. And then lighted door handles, that's cool as well. It's nice to be able to see where it is, especially at night. But I don't consider any of this worth $3,000 if I was building my own. And like I said, mine came with it. All right, next option is the Smart Air suspension, which adjusts the stiffness for optimum performance, blah, blah, blah. Which, you know, I wasn't trying to get necessarily a super sports car that wasn't one of the primary reasons that I wanted a Tesla, so this wasn't that important to me. Now I will say that I have, on some of the really wide speed bumps, I have grazed the underside of my Model S because I'm not used to driving something so low and so long. So certainly that would be handy to have in those circumstances. And also, if you have a steep driveway, you can set it so that it raises your vehicle as you're approaching your driveway, so that you don't bottom out or something. So if you have that, it's probably worth it. But otherwise, I wouldn't get it. And the salesman that I worked with in Chicago, he told me that he actually prefers the ride feel in the ones without Smart Air suspension. So I have to say, I haven't ridden in one like this, so I don't know, but to me it's not worth $2,500. Ultra high fidelity sound, I haven't tried this, but I'm not a super audiophile, so to me it wasn't worth spending an extra $2,500. SubZero weather package, my vehicle does have this, and the question is whether I would have gotten it. And the truth is, I don't know. The cost is $1,000, which compared, you know, relative to the total cost of the vehicle, is pretty low. But let me go through the features. So what you get is 3-zone rear seat heaters. Now, every Model S, at least new ones, the front seats are heated. So you're gonna get seat heaters in the front. So it's just, if it's just you and a spouse or a partner, you don't need to worry about adding something to get heated seats. But this will add them to the back seats, which is handy if you have kids, because there's only 2 vents that do the air conditioning for the back of the Model S. 2 vents that come out of the back of the console, and they're not super powerful. and they tend to be not quite as warm as the front vents. So if you have kids that get cold or something like that and you want to not heat your car up as much with the air heater, it might be worth going for that. Wiper blade defrosters, not very useful. Washer nozzle heaters, when I was in Kansas and it was super cold and I had some water in my washer system, it completely froze. And well, actually it froze when it started getting empty, not when it was like full. But and then when I put actual washer fluid in there, when I finally got to a gas station that had some, I couldn't thaw it. It wouldn't thaw, just even with the nozzle heaters on for like 20 minutes or something like that. So this is also of limited use. Heated steering wheel, I use that almost every day. It's super nice and it feels really good. So of all of this, the heated steering wheel is something that I use all the time. So is it worth it? If you have $1,000 and you're in a really cold area, and again, this would be for like really cold areas, I think. I don't know if I would get it actually. If I was trying to be cost effective, I probably would not. Okay, rear facing seats, I do not have these. It takes up quite a bit of your lower trunk space. So these fold down flat. You can find videos about that. But you see the space down here? The seats fold down into there, and so you won't have that trunk space if you do have the seats. You cannot add them later, so you have to decide up front. But the thing is, I mean, your kids have to be large enough, and they also can't be too large to fit in there. So it's of limited use to me, and you know, we're not even using the back row of seats that we have anyway in terms of kids. So that was not an option to me or for me, but if it's something that would be useful to you, that's no problem. Go for it. Oh, also, when you do order this, the back bumper, or not the back bumper, but the rear frame, they add an additional level of reinforcement back here, so that in the event of a rear end collision, it's even more reinforced and will not encroach into the small passengers here. So that's important. That is my perspective on the options here. So what does my car have? Ooh, my car does not. My car has a solid roof. There we go. So I have a white one with a solid roof. It's a 70D. I have Autopilot, premium interior and lighting, and SubZero weather package. So the retail price for mine was $84, and they all get a $1,200 destination and dock fee. Doesn't matter if you're picking it up at the Fremont factory, which I don't think you can do, but you still have that fee. Like I said, mine was a service demo loaner model. So mine was discounted, and mine had about 1,100 miles on it, and they're discounted based on the mileage. So the discount for mine was about, I think it was a little over $4,000. And it already had Autopilot software enabled, which is, you don't always find in the loaner demos, or in the demo vehicles. So it was actually really tricky to figure out which one was the best deal and stuff, because some of them would be cheaper, but Autopilot wasn't activated, so then I would have to add $3,000. And then in addition to this destination and documents fee, there's also a shipping fee if you buy a loaner model that's, like mine was in Washington State, so it had to be shipped to Michigan, which was an additional charge of like $700 something. Whereas some of them, like if one was in Indiana or something, or Chicago, which is closer, they wouldn't have that additional shipping charge. So it was really complicated to figure out which ones were actually a good deal for where I live. But anyway, mine ended up being 84 total, and then it was I got a like 4,000 something discount, and then I ordered mine back towards the end of the first round of referral discounts. I actually used Bjorn Nealon's code, so I got to contribute to his total count. Anyway, so that was another $1,000 off, and then obviously because it's an electric vehicle, it qualifies for the federal tax rebate, which is another $7,500. What else? Unfortunately, Michigan does not have a state rebate, but other states do. Like California, I think, has a couple thousand. Colorado, if you live in Colorado and you're looking at getting a Model S, you have it made. Like the state rebate of $6,000 in addition to the $7,500 rebate, and in addition to the current referral deal, which at least as of this month, March 2016, of $1,200 off the installation of a charger. If you're in Colorado, like that's freaking awesome. I think Georgia has like an even more of a rebate. It's like $10,000 or something, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, so check your state incentives. Yeah, so, and then of course you have to add tax, which is anywhere from like 6% to, I think Illinois is now switching to 10% sales tax, because the state's running out of money. So that's, I mean, so $8,400, you're adding $8,400 just in tax in Illinois, or maybe it's just Chicago. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's my sense on the current Model S options. I hope that was helpful. I am planning on doing a video subsequently on a little bit more about why I got my Model S and also the timing. So this sort of covers a lot of why I got the options and stuff that I did, but I'll go into a little bit more detail about my car in a different video. So if anybody has any questions or comments about these options or my vehicle, or specifically the options that I have and living in a cold Michigan climate, feel free to leave a comment or instant message me. I love thumbs up on the videos. I love subscribers. So if you like my videos, please subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.